Greetings, Opals users. In this first tutorial of several on the equipment module, I would like to address the user types and the item types for setup to be ready to use your equipment module. Before I begin, I would like to mention that you're welcome to call 877-331-1022 and ask for tech support, or email support@opalsinfo.net, and we're glad to help you out. Okay, the first thing I'd like to address is the user type, to make sure that your user types, the folks that work and manage your library, have the rights to the equipment module. Administration, preferences, user types, and here we see the user types. I should mention that sometimes Opal sites will have an admin user type. They may have a library staff user type. They may have a volunteer user type, which might only be able to loan and return. Or however you've set your user types up in your Opals management, just go to the user type that you're regularly used to using. In this video, I'm going to look at two. I'm going to look at the admin account. So I'm going to click the pad, and I see that they're completely set up. The admin account at this library is set up for system management, library, even textbooks. But equipment, nothing. So I'm going to click the equipment and choose all. And I will also choose record edit for MARC. I will mention that MARC records are hardly ever used in the equipment module, but in the event you do use them, you'll want record edit on. Now I'm going to save. All right, the next site or user type will be the library staff. And I'm going to set this up from the beginning. Now here's the library system management is good. Library is all set up because I see all these here. There is no textbook set up, but they're only going to be using, say in this example, the equipment module. And I see nothing. So I've clicked the equipment and I'm going to choose all for circ. And I'll turn on the MARC for record edit. Again, it's very rare that MARC records are used for equipment. So what I've just done on the admin and the library staff user types is enabled them, those user types, to work with the equipment module in its entirety. I will save this. Okay, and then the next step, you'll go to Admin, Preferences, Item Types. Now you may have nothing under equipment at this point. In this test site, I think I have one item type under here. So I'm going to click Equipment and click Display. And we see that we have one with 206 pieces in it called Equipment. I should mention that many sites will have an item type for Chromebooks, an item type for chargers, an item type for iPads, and the like. You're welcome to put all of your equipment, your Chromebooks, items such as rechargers, maybe you have overhead projectors, maybe you have whiteboards. You can put them all under equipment, but pay attention to the length of the loan period. So right now, this is a demo database, but a student could borrow a piece of equipment for 2 days. Typically in a school these days, a student will borrow a Chromebook for at least a year, if not more years to come as they're going, say, through middle school, high school, and the like. So I'm going to show you, if you want more granular statistics, you could have, again, everything under equipment, but it might be better to add a new item type. So I'm clicking item type. I am in the equipment item category, and I'm going to call this Chromebooks. And I don't need an estimated time to reshelf. I don't really need a description because Chromebooks says it all. And then I would decide how long does a student get it. I'm really only covering the setup. So I'll just put in 200 days for a student to have a Chromebook. And that's all I'll do here. And they don't need a renewal, and they won't be reserving Chromebooks, and they won't be holding Chromebooks, and there's no grace. And there's not a renewal for a Chromebook, and the maximum items loaned might be 1. By the way, if a student does have an issue with their Chromebook, they broke it or there's problems, they'll often turn it into your IT department or the library, and then you'll issue them a loaner. But you would have returned the broken one first. So I'm going to save this. Okay, so what we have now is when this refreshes, I'm going to Equipment, Display, and I see that I have equipment with 206, but now I have Chromebooks. I haven't added any yet, but I have an item type of Chromebooks. Again, you can be very granular. You can have Chromebooks, chargers, iPads. So the more granular you are, you can decide the loan periods more freely with each piece, etc. I'll just add one more piece for the clip. Add a new item type. By the way, make sure if you're doing it for the equipment, you have equipment right here in item category, and I will call these iPads. I don't need a description really. You can put one in. There's no reshelve time like there would be with books. And a student can have it for, say, 200 days. And again, I could do a renewal of 0 and reserve of 0, hold of 0, grace of 0. These are often assigned with books. A renewal of 0 and items loan of 1, like I did on the Chromebook. So now I have my iPad set up. And you can, of course, adjust it for teachers. I don't see ILL ever borrowing your Chromebooks and any of your equipment. Perhaps the admin of the library would be borrowing a piece, or the library staff might have a loaner or a Chromebook assigned, or even the volunteers. But I'm just going to show you the students in this clip. So I'm going back to the home page. Oh, let me make sure I save this. I keep my mistakes in the clips because you may make them yourselves. I'm going back to the home page, and I am now going to log out and log back in, and we'll see if I have all the rights that I've assigned myself. So I'm at the test site. I'm logging in as an admin. Click Login. And remember, earlier in the clip, I assigned rights to user types. So I go to Equipment Module, and now I'm seeing that all the menu options are available to me now. So this is really the first step, is to set up who's going to use the equipment and what rights they have. And secondly, i.e. those are the user types. Secondly, the item types. Do you want to put everything under equipment? Do you want to have it more granular for Chromebooks, chargers, iPads, whiteboards, etc.? So these are the first two things that you'll immediately want to address as you begin working with the equipment module. Thanks again.